What is something you enjoyed about the Navy and something that was a challenge?
Well, the most enjoyable thing about the Navy was the day I got my papers to get out. No.
My volunteer, mikeRjon, is a very kind and interesting person with a lot of great stories to share. He served in the Navy in his younger days, but is now a volunteer in the USS Midway, giving people who visit a wonderful experience to remember. My name is Jonathan. I am a student at Current D&D. I have worked with clients like Feeding San Diego and Scripps Institution of Oceanography, but out of all of them, I say that the USS Midway project has been the most fascinating because it's really interesting to hear people's stories. One of my most favorite things about the project was hearing my volunteer story. One of the stories that really caught my attention was when he got drafted and how he has seen civil rights involved in his lifetime.
Well, that was kind of a mixed bag. I was very interested in getting married right out of high school, and my mother was not terribly thrilled about that. She wanted me to go to college, so did my dad for that matter. And when I came home in Texas and my dad said, "I think this letter in the mail that just came for you is your draft notice, and you're going to have to go into the Army," 1961. He said, "If I were you," because all my uncles had been in service, he said, "I would go down and join the Navy or the Air Force or the Coast Guard." It's been a very, very unusual experience. I was born in Wisconsin, where there were hardly any issues back in the 40s and 50s when I grew up, early 50s when I grew up there, because there were very, very few minorities in the entire area. They were all farmers and people that worked out in the fields in the summertime. And then when I was 10 years old, I was moved down to Texas, which was a totally different place. And the schools I went to were primarily majority Spanish and not too many black folks, but black people. But there were. It was a totally different culture there. I was shocked to know the type of attitudes that many Americans had toward minority people.
My volunteer has inspired me to volunteer when I get older. He has shown me that volunteering can make an impact on others by influencing them. My volunteer has made my experience on the Midway a great experience. I am thankful not only to Mike but as well as the other volunteers that give a wonderful experience on the Midway.